Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Lab. I am your host, Luis Morales. Once again, this is Sports Lab. Let's get started. Today's topic is, should the Chicago Bears let Brian Urlacher walk away and go to a different team, maybe even retire? As a fan of the Chicago Bears, as a fan who's watched Brian Urlacher pretty much his entire life, from a fan's perspective, I'm going to say let the man stay. Let the man stay. He is the face of this franchise. Now, hold on and let me explain myself. I'm not saying he's going to be like the next Alshon Jeffrey, maybe. No. I'm saying when you say Chicago Bears, what do you think of? Brian Urlacher. That's the first player you think of. Brian Urlacher, Walter Payton, Dick Butkus. That's what I mean. These are players that right away when you say Dallas Cowboys, you think of who? Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. No, you don't think of Tony Romo. Hell no. When you think of New England, who's the first player that comes to mind? The big boy, the 3-time Super Bowl champion, Mr. Tom Brady, who is dating the beautiful Giselle. Anyways, from a fan's perspective, I say no. I say keep the man. Keep the man for a year, maximum of 2. Let him stay with the Chicago Bears for $10 million those 1 or 2 years. Now, this is why I say this. The Bears have the 20th overall pick in this year's 2013 NFL Draft. 20. What does that mean? They could potentially grab Manti Te'o. Now, why do I say that? It's because Manti Te'o, he dropped his draft stock really bad. He dropped it really bad. Excuse me, guys. He dropped it, really low when he had a horrible combine. He had I'm pretty sure the pro day hasn't happened, but all this hoax with the girlfriend and the bad championship game against Alabama Crimson Tide, Roll Tide, it was bad. It was horrible. So Manti Te'o dropped his stack. Dropped his draft stock. I'm sorry, guys. He dropped it. Bears could potentially pick him up. So, alright, let's say they do pick him up, okay? Manti Te'o gets drafted to the Chicago Bears. Brian Urlacher mentors this kid, helps him out during spring training, helps him out during the mini camps, helps him out during off-season workouts, whatever. He helps him out, makes him, develops him into a good player, tells Manti Te'o this is what happens, this is where you have to go, this is the type of playbook that we had when Lovie Smith was in here with the Chicago Bears, kind of tell him what's going to happen. That's why I would draft him, to make Manti Te'o a good player. I'm saying if the Chicago Bears were to draft him. Now, I'm not saying they are, but if they did, hey, I'll take him. I'll take him any day. Brian Urlacher has been playing in the NFL for 13 years. 13 years. All 13 with the Chicago Bears. All 13 with one uniform, one helmet with the Chicago Bears. I can't imagine seeing Brian Urlacher play in a purple jersey with the purple helmet on. I can't see that from him. I could see Brian Urlacher, and I will always see Brian Urlacher playing with a Chicago Bear uniform, a Chicago Bear helmet, telling people where to go, making sacks. Brian Urlacher is my favorite player, one of my favorite players. I wouldn't let him go. But Phil Emery, who is the general manager for the Chicago Bears, who I got to give a round of applause to that man, has made terrific choices. He's made terrific choices. Jerry Angelo would have never drafted Shane McClellan, would have never picked up Brandon Marshall or drafted Alshon Jeffrey. No, he wouldn't have done that. He does care about Brian Urlacher. He's like, this is a good player. He is a fan favorite. But he doesn't care if Brian Urlacher walks. He doesn't care. Hey, if I were Phil, I wouldn't either. I would not either. He's old. I'm sorry, but Brian Urlacher is an old player. He's been hit with many injuries the past 2 seasons. If he walks, hey, you walk. you walk, you want to go to Minnesota, you want to go play in Dallas. I wouldn't, especially not with whatever this man, Jerry Jones, I think, Jones, whatever the hell his name is. I would not. I wouldn't. Vikings, really? Come on. Who do they have? Anyways, I wouldn't. I would let Brian Urlacher stay. But, again, old, hit with injuries. Now, the past 2 seasons, the Chicago Bears have not made it into the NFL playoff. They have not. The past 2 seasons. One was because Jay Cutler was injured. Okay. Yeah, okay. Tim Tebow was still playing with the Denver Broncos 2 years ago. A lot of things have changed. He was injured. This year we grabbed, or last year we grabbed Brandon Marshall. Everyone said, "Oh, they're gonna be a threat in the playoff." They didn't even make it to the playoff. 10-6 record, never made it. They started off hot, but the minute they played, and I think it was Houston, they did really bad. It was Houston, then Kaepernick came out. It was against Chicago, against San Francisco on ESPN Monday night. Kaepernick played that game. This is where Kaepernick was discovered. Kaepernick made Brian Urlacher and the Chicago Bear defense look horrible. What does that tell you? Maybe it's time that, and the Bears were a top 10 defense last season. Maybe it's time Brian Urlacher walks away. Maybe it's time he starts a new, you could say, career with a different team. Whether it be Minnesota, whether it be Dallas, Tampa, or New York, or I don't care. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time that Brian Urlacher does walk. Again, I wouldn't. I would let this man stay, but from a fan's perspective, but from a if I were general manager, I would let Brian Urlacher walk. I really would. He's old, guys. He's been hit with a lot of injuries. I wouldn't. If I were a general manager, I'd be like, you know what? Thank you for your 13 years here with the Chicago Bears, but I think we're gonna let you walk, buddy. I think we're gonna let you walk. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for clicking on it. Please subscribe to it. Leave your comments down below. Share this with your friends, with your family, with your girlfriend, brother-in-law, brother, sister, mom and dad, grandparents. I hope you like this video. Please share this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, AOL, MSN, Yahoo, Gmail, Google, Bing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Once again, this is Sports Lab. I am your host, Luis Morales. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.